guys ready? Got your shots? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh! When it comes to the world of stings, there are titans of pain that stand tall above the rest. Now, I've already survived the dreaded sting of the bullet ant, the warrior wasp, and even the deadly stonefish. But there is one titan that has eluded me time and time again. So today, I am back in the state of Arizona to take on the sting of the one and only Tarantula Hawk. Let's get searching. The last 5 times I have come to Arizona, I have not been able to catch one of these giant spider wasps. But today's different. It's different because we've been tipped off to a well-known Tarantula Hawk hotspot. Let me explain to you why this is a great location for Tarantula Hawks. Reason number 1, water. In the desert, water is life, and it grows flowering plants, just like this one. You see all these honeybees fast at work? This is exactly the same type of plant that Tarantula Hawk is going to be after. They eat nectar. So I think the best strategy for us today is to walk laps around this pond, keeping our eyes to the sky and our ears open. These wasps are so huge that you can actually hear them buzzing in through the air. They're like little fighter jets. Zzz. If we can find one perched up like this butterfly right here, that is going to present the perfect opportunity for me to swoop in with the net. Here we go. Desert's waking up. Got the hummingbirds out now. I think that was a tarantula hawk actually that just flew by. Big one.
Really?
Dang, yeah. Just saw one. Saw my first tarantula hawk. It just went way into the desert. Like no chance, but that was definitely one. They really stand out from the other insects and things flying around out here. I mean, we're talking about a wasp 2 inches long. Today's the day. I can feel it. Today is the day it's gonna change. It's just a matter of patience and persistence. Let's keep hiking around this pond. Got one? Oh. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Oh!
Where is it?
No, right here, right here.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep.
Oh no!
That is one. That is definitely one. Oh my gosh. I can see its bright orange wings and it's huge. That is really high though. That is like 12 feet. I just can't. I can't get that high. It just comes down. Dang it.
The drought continues.
We just have to find the right one.
Yeah, at least this guy's catching stuff out here. Oh, right here, right here, right here, Bart. Whoa! That was huge.
I got one. Right here. Right here. Got it.
Whoa!
Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness. And that is a good one too. Oh, yeah, baby. All right. Can't get too excited. It's got to get in the jar to be officially a catch. Okay. Yeah! Yes! I cannot believe that catch. That was so epic. What a fitting way to end the drought of catching tarantula hawks. Oh my gosh, guys. I was like, man, if this doesn't happen today, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. And now, unfortunately, this victory, this victorious moment I'm feeling is about to turn into a world of pain because I've set the table for me to enter the sting zone with one of the colossals of sting, the Tarantula Hawk. Whew. Let's go set up the sting table. Here we go, it's game time. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at the size of that Tarantula Hawk. That is a massive Tarantula Hawk. And I have to say, I have not been this amped for a sting video in a very long time. We have put in the work to feature the Tarantula Hawk on the Bite Sting Index, and today, it's going down. But before we get into that, check this out. Not only did I catch one Tarantula Hawk, I caught two. And the reason I want to show you both of these insects is because although they look similar, they are very different. And it's important for you to know the difference if you're ever out here in the Southwest and encounter one of these giant flying insects. And the way I'm going to show you how they're different is by demonstrating. Here we go. You ready? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We get out the second Tarantula Hawk from the container. Here we go. You ready? This is one of those moments where you really hope you're right about what you've learned. 1, 2, 3. No sting. And that is because what I'm holding here is a male Tarantula Hawk, and they do not possess a stinger. Now, the reason why the males do not possess stingers, and this is true in almost all stinging insects, is because a stinger is really just a modified appendage for laying eggs. Now, besides not having a stinger, the only other way to tell the difference between the male and female Tarantula Hawks are by looking at their antenna. Males have straight antenna, where females curl at the ends. And while side by side, it's also easy to see that females are larger, you typically will never see more than one Tarantula Hawk at a time. So checking for those antennae is the best way to know if you're looking at a harmless insect versus one that packs one of the most intense stings on the planet. I'm actually gonna transfer her into a bigger glass so we can really see, so she can spread all the way out. And you can see how truly gargantuan this wasp is. Okay, there we go. Wow. Oh my goodness. What a monster wasp. Guys, look at the size of that abdomen. This is the biggest Tarantula Hawk I have ever seen. Now, the reason they're called a Tarantula Hawk is because how they reproduce. These enormous wasps, one of the largest wasps in the world, feed tarantulas to their young. And the way they do that is they will fly around the desert looking for these giant spiders. Once they find one, they will swoop down like a bird of prey, catch it, sting it, paralyzing the tarantula, and then lay eggs inside of it. So, when those eggs hatch, the very first meal of a Tarantula Hawk's life is a giant spider. And then they will emerge from the burrow as a fully grown wasp and feast on nectar. I've seen these wasps dragging spiders across the desert 10 times their size. It's truly unbelievable just how powerful the Tarantula Hawk can be. And the last thing I just want to note before we get into the sting test is look at the legs of this wasp. They are extremely long. In fact, when you see them flying through the air, you can see those long legs dragging down behind them. And the reason they need to have such long legs is so they can grapple those spiders and inflict that paralyzing sting. They're also covered in tiny hairs. Got some hairy legs there, lady. Well, now that we know why it's called a Tarantula Hawk, and we've been able to take a closer look, I think it's time for the moment that you all came for. It's time for me to enter the sting zone with one of the largest wasps on the planet. Here we go. All right. I often get questions, Mark, are you just over the fear of stings by now? No. I always get a lot of anxiety before taking a sting for a first time, especially when it's one of the titans of sting. The Tarantula Hawk sting is notorious. It's put right up there with the bullet ant. And when it comes to stings that I personally witnessed, I cannot think of one more terrifying than when I saw someone get stung by a Tarantula Hawk. As much as I've been working hard with the team to find one of these Tarantula Hawks for this sting test, in this moment, whoo, buddy, I'm feeling the nerves. The sooner I take the sting, the sooner I get to healing. That I know for sure. All right, I'm getting the signal. You guys ready? Yeah. It's go time. All right, guys, this is gonna be one of the biggest stings I ever go through. Got essential first aid on standby, the EpiPen. Oh my gosh. I can't believe the moment has arrived for me to enter the sting zone with this wasp. This is big time. Okay guys, here we go. Now, I'm gonna rate the sting of this wasp on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. So at the end of this video, this Tarantula Hawk is going to receive a BSI score, and it will rate it against all the other stings and bites that I've ever taken. Will it top the bullet ant? It's time to find out. Gonna remove the glass. Oh man, this is where it'd be very easy for me to take a sting too early. Those legs are so strong. Like if I don't get the right hold right away, it's almost no chance. Shaking. So nervous right now. Gosh, this is always so much harder than it looks. Got it, hold. All right, I'm gonna have to use another set. Oh my gosh, look at how big that stinger is, guys. So strong. Got it. Good hold. All right, I gotta go for the sting, guys. Ready? I'm Mark Binns, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the one and only Tarantula Hawk. You guys ready? Got your shots? On 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, hang on. I'm feeling lightheaded. I feel like I might pass out. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
You want me to put a jar on it right now?
No, I'm just, hold on, just let me get my nerves going. My legs are shaking, my hands are shaking. I feel like my stomach's in my throat right now. I've never felt this like this before, Sting. This is like next level terror. Oh my gosh, this is happening. All right, here we go. All right, guys, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Stinger's hit! Stinger's hit! Oh God, I didn't get a good sting though. I gotta do it again. Oh, that hurts. It didn't get good. It didn't get me good. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah! Oh, it's savaging me! Ah, yeah! Yeah! Ah! 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 Oh! Oh, yeah! Ah! Oh my gosh, look how quickly it's swelling. Ah! 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 It's white hot, white hot. Ah! Ah!
You all right, man?
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. She got me a bunch of times before the real sting, but the real sting went in and it was so bad. Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! Describe the pain. White hot. It's like gasoline under the skin, torched. It's like someone put a match right on it. Ah, that's the real deal. Look at the swelling already. Matter of seconds, it's already swelling up. Oh. Oh. All right, guys. I feel like my voice is going. All right. Well, I've survived so far. I don't think I need the EpiPen, but my voice is shot. And I think it's now time for me to recover, endure the aftermath, and for you guys to know exactly where the Tarantula Hawk rates on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Roll it. For intimidation, it's hard to imagine a wasp or any insect more intimidating than the Tarantula Hawk. But just in case I ever find one, I'll give it a 9.9 out of 10. For pain, It was way up there compared to the worst stings I've experienced. Instant flares of pain rocked my arm and underneath the skin. And the only reason I took repeated stings was to make sure I took a full dose, which I'm sure glad I did for the sake of this index, because that last sting was 10 times as painful as the first 8 or so warning pops. All of that said, I don't feel it was quite as bad as a bullet ant, so it only gets an 8.6 out of 10 for pain. For aftermath, the swelling was severe. My arm ballooned up and the redness extended from my wrist all the way down to my elbow. And the pain lasted for over 24 hours, but was much less severe after just about 30 minutes. However, it was followed by days of very intense itching before it started to properly heal. For that, the aftermath gets an 8.5 out of 10, giving the Tarantula Hawk a grand score and BSI rating of a 9, making it the second worst sting I have rated so far, and just barely falling short of the current king of sting, the bullet ant. Needless to say, while Tarantula Hawks are typically non-aggressive, you should never attempt to do what you saw in this video. Take it from me, it was a very painful experience I hope to never have again. Ouch. This bee is ticked, and it is going to sting the heck out of me. 1, 2, 3. We are just outside of our lodging here at Mount Kinabalu in Borneo, but we have been seeing these massive bees flying around the parking lot and in and around the gardens surrounding this property. So I've got my bug net. I'm gonna try to catch one, ID it, and if it's interesting enough, we're gonna put it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Already starting to sweat. It is heating up, but that's what we want. That's what's gonna bring all the wasps and the bees out to forage. You need heat, you need sun. We've got them both. Oh, you see what I see? Big orb weaver. Oh, look, it's eating. It's in the middle of wrapping up some prey. You're careful, but I think we can step up on this. Yes. Whoa. Let's let it finish wrapping its meal, and then I'll attempt to catch the spider with my bare hands. And it's about as big as my hand too. Now these are called golden orb weave spiders because they have a golden hue to their web. Can you see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, another insect just flew into the web. Spider picked a great spot. Oh, she's backing off her meal. Gonna go in for the catch. All right, yeah. Okay, got it. Web's still intact. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. This is a really good size golden orb weaver. Very hard to get a bite from one of these, but it's not unheard of. And I've been told that their venom can be super painful if bitten. Whoa. Look at how colorful its abdomen is. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. You can like feel the weight. Usually spiders feel weightless. Yeah, definitely a few grams on that spider. This is a big mama. This is likely a female, given her size. Out here chasing giant bees, only to come across a massive golden orb weaver spider. I'm gonna put this spider back in its web so it can finish lunch. Here you go, girl. Didn't even phase her. Right back to lunch. All sorts of bugs around. Just gotta catch the one we're after. Guys, we got giant bees right here. Roll your cameras, roll your cameras. Got this rolling? Okay. Right in the center. There it is. Oh, there it is. It's up there, I see it. I'm just got to go for it. Hold this, Asa. It's too thick in there. I'm gonna go around the backside. It's gone. Shoot. I didn't get it. Chased it all the way up here though. Okay, bees are out. Let's go back. I think they like those yellow flowers. Let's go back there, stake it out and see if we can get one. This is gonna be it. All right, guys, let's camp out back here. Come on, guys, roll your cameras. Got him. Yes. Huge carpenter bee. Beautiful blue wings, big bee. All right, here, let me get it into a container so we can get a better look. Yes, that is a really big and black carpenter bee. Oh my goodness, that is a super intimidating bee. And yes, they absolutely sting. It's time to go arm to stinger to find out just how painful it really is. There's our bee. Got our net. Doing the transfers. Gonna need a better container so you can see this bee a little clear. EpiPen. So every insect or arachnid I'm getting bitten or stung by could be potentially a life-threatening allergic reaction. Always got the EpiPen. I'm just gonna put that over here though. Hopefully we won't need that. This is gonna be pretty gnarly. Now let's get it switched to the other container so we can all see it better. The bee, let's see if I can get it gently. Calming down. There we go. This bee has calmed down quite a bit since we caught it. Still have the net on standby in case it does try to get away mid-sting, which has happened before. First thing I noticed, besides the size of this bee, is how hairy it is. It has these long hairs all over its bodies, especially on the legs, the abdomen, and the chest. Just looking at it, it certainly earns the local name, the broad-handed bee. This is a beast of a bee, but let's talk about this species real quick before I take it out of the container. This is what's known as a carpenter bee. And there are carpenter bees all over the world. And the reason why they are called a carpenter bee is because of how they reproduce. Instead of making a hive or a comb like a honeybee, these bees will actually chew into wood, make a pollen ball, lay an egg with the pollen ball in the wood, and then they'll close it off. And that's where the baby bees, the larvae, will hatch, eat the pollen, and emerge as adult bees to do the cycle all over again. But that does not mean that these bees don't sting. They absolutely sting. And get this, unlike a honeybee, they can sting multiple times. So this is more similar to a hornet or a wasp where it can sting repeatedly. You might get swarmed at a picnic by yellow jackets or even honeybees, but these bees are solitary. They're not defending any hive or nest. But when I take this bee out of this tiny container, it's gonna start buzzing and it is gonna sting the daylights out of me. Now let's talk about how we are gonna rate the sting of this carpenter bee. We're gonna rate it, like always, on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And I can tell you right now, just looking at the size of this bee and how powerful it is, intimidation is gonna be a big score. Pain, I'm gonna be shocked if the pain of this bee gets below a 5. I think it's gonna wallop me. And then of course, aftermath is something we'll have to track for the next couple of days. Don't worry, you won't have to wait. We're gonna skip past through all the waiting. So at the end of this video, you are going to learn where this bee rates against all the other insects and arachnids, scorpions, spiders, things I've been bitten and stung by throughout my career.
I think we're ready for it, Mark.
I'm gonna put this net on standby for everybody. If the bee starts to get away, grab the net and grab it, whoever's closer, okay? I have a feeling I'm gonna be in a lot of pain. I don't know if we're gonna be able to like hold this bee for very long outside of the capsule because it is super strong. So I'm just gonna get right into it. The bee's starting to fly, so I'm gonna have to do it under the net. Okay. Now, like most flying insects, it's gonna go up first. Just be careful. Dangerous game of grab the bee. Have it? I've got it. I've got it. Let go. Okay. Not my best hold ever. Let's see if I can improve this. You see that stinger going? Wow. Oh, it's big. Oh, that stinger is big. The abdomen here. Let's get a better hold. I got it, guys. Okay. Now you can see why we had it under the glass. This bee is ticked. And it is going to sting the heck out of me. Wow. I'm not looking forward to this. 3 times the size of your average honeybee. This is always the hardest part, getting stung. All right, I'm gonna do it right here. Right here. You guys got a shot? All right. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with a giant carpenter bee. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. Ah! Oh, it's hot. Ah. Oh. Got away. I see a little mark. Good news, bad news. The good news is I did get stung. The bad news is the bee got away really fast. And honestly, guys, that was so chaotic. I tried to recatch it, I couldn't. And you can see this welt coming in right here. I felt the stinger go in. I think I got a full sting, but I'm not quite sure. We've got a little bit of daylight left. I say we take the net. Let's go back down to those flowers, that front line of bushes, see if we can catch another bee and do the sting one more time. I just don't know if I got a full dose, and I wanna make sure. So let's go down real quick, guys. Now don't get me wrong, the sting of the black carpenter bee did hurt, but nothing could have prepared me for the bee that I was about to catch. Oh my gosh, that's bigger, right? Or is it in my eyes?
Well, that's definitely bigger.
Okay, let's go back and do it. No fussing around. This bee is massive. It's so much bigger than the first one. It's gonna be even harder to hold. I'm just gonna do it. You guys ready? Not expect to get a bigger bee. Oh, jeez. You hear it powerful? It is powerful. It's so big. Get down there. All right. One, 2, 3. Oh, wow, yeah. I did not get hit the first time. Wow. Oh, yeah. Did you guys see that sting?
Happened so fast.
Oh, yeah. I want to get away. All right. Just get this bee. Get up there, get up. All right. Didn't lose the bee that time, but it got me. That first one did not sting, guys. That first one definitely did not sting. You see the venom coming out of that hole? Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's burning. Oh. Big bee got me. Big bee got me. That bee's so big, it can't even extend its wings inside that container. It's too big for the glass. You guys see that? Oh my gosh. Look at the legs. I got stung by the beast. I'm glad we caught that second bee, because otherwise the Bornean black carpenter bee would have not gotten a fair BSI rating. We're gonna monitor this sting for the next day to judge the aftermath, but you don't have to wait a second. This is the official BSI rating of this giant black carpenter bee. Roll it. On intimidation, this bee's massive size and huge stinger set my nerves on fire. On top of that, it was also incredibly strong and one of the hardest insects I've ever had to wrangle. For that, I rank it a 7.5 out of 10. For pain, the sting of the second bee was shocking and about 10 times as painful as the first. After the first sting, I wasn't sure if this bee was even worth rating in a full video, but after being walloped by the larger bee, I can safely say the giant black carpenter bee of Borneo has a very painful sting, and I was immediately humbled. So for pain, I give it an 8.3 out of 10. Now the aftermath of this sting, like most bees, was the worst part. The sting burned and itched for days and caused swelling so severe that it covered my entire forearm and down to my elbow. Oh, that burns. At its worst, my arm felt like a water balloon ready to pop, so I rate the aftermath of this massive bee a 9.1 out of 10, giving the giant black carpenter bee of Borneo a total score of an 8.3, and rightfully earning a spot way up the ranks of the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. All right, guys, I just got done night diving in Indonesia, and I cannot believe what we just filmed tonight with the Bobbit worm is mind-blowing. Total nightmare fuel, but super awesome at the same time. Check this out. You won't be sorry. We're starting our dive at dusk, and we'll be focused on the seabed in front of us. This is typically when the most interesting creatures are active. And right away, there's a lionfish. These fish are down here hunting right now, and those spines on its back are covered in a potent neurotoxin that can cause excruciating pain and even paralysis in anything it touches. These waters are absolutely filled with them, as well as their cousin, the scorpionfish. So anytime I make contact with the ocean floor, I'll be checking to make sure that I don't land on anything I'm not supposed to. Now, I've seen a lot of bizarre and nightmarish looking creatures before. I've been bitten by bloodworms, burned by a fireworm, and even stung by the infamous man-o-war. But nothing makes my skin crawl quite like the bobbit worm. These elusive predators have built up a serious reputation over the years and even inspired monsters in movies like the ones in Dune and Tremors, both featuring killer sandworms that live underground that burst through the desert sand with their powerful jaws to attack and kill their prey. Those worms are science fiction. The bobbit worm you are about to see feed in the night is very real. Now, at this point in the dive, I had no idea I was going to find any bobbit worms, but these are the events as they unfolded, leading to that very moment. What we have here is a school of catfish. They use a very interesting schooling technique where they actually cascade over each other like a waterfall. They do this to take turns so they can stop and feed, but there's always another catfish to replace the front line. Grouping together like this helps ward off predators and makes the school of catfish appear like a much larger fish. All right, time to move on. Oh wow, look at that. I have never seen one of these nudibranch before. This one is actually called a bubble shell. It gets its name because of that shell right there at the center of its body. Now, these shells are different to the ones on a typical snail. They are thin, fragile, and too small to fit the entire animal inside. But it is absolutely stunning in coloration. Look at those bright blue edges. It almost glows out here in the darkness. Very cool. On night dives like this, you really never know what you're going to find. It's a very alien-like environment, and when you're out here in the muck, it almost appears like the lunar surface. And here is another really bizarre and unique creature. This is a cuttlefish. Related to the octopus, these sea creatures are super intelligent. In fact, some scientists believe they're more intelligent than their 8-armed cousins. Let's carefully swim up for a closer look. What's really unique about these creatures at first sight is how they change their coloration almost instantaneously. Oh, look at this, it's moving into hunt. Oh, it almost got that fish. That fish was so lucky. Oh. The cuttlefish is turning right toward me. Look at that coloration change. Now, some scientists believe not only did they change their coloration as a camouflage technique, but they can actually communicate through the change in color and pattern in their skin. I wonder if it's trying to tell me something. Clearly it knows that I'm no longer a threat. It's hanging out. Let me just put my hand out right. Guys, this is too cool. This cuttlefish is so comfortable with us that it's letting me almost use my hand as a perch. Now, make no mistake, these cuttlefish are super fast and it could swim away in a split second if it wanted to. And it's likely just as curious about me as I am about it. Holy cow. I'm almost at a loss for words. All right, let's grab our dive rig and keep adventuring into the night. Wow. That's a pair of moray eels. This is one of the animals that divers need to be especially careful around because they are super territorial and they also have razor sharp teeth. If you stick your hand in the wrong place down here, you can take a pretty aggressive chomp from one of these large eels. And the biggest problem is once they bite, they don't let go. They can even spin into a death roll similar to a crocodile. We're gonna leave those two alone and keep moving forward. Now that is a porcupine fish, and a super colorful one at that. A lot of the porcupine fish that I'm used to seeing are more brown and gray in coloration. This one is more of a reddish maroon. And oh, I found something so cool. Guys, check this out. This is a bobtail squid. I've always wanted to see one of these. Now these bobtail squid really look like a little octopus because of their super long tentacles. They're almost the in-between between a cuttlefish and an octopus. But these bobtail squid are also super intelligent and extremely charismatic. It's trying to bury itself beneath the sand to hide away from our cameras. I see you. Look at it using its little arms to cover itself with sand and sediment to try to blend in. You can still see its little siphon is uncovered there. Wow. Whoa. Look out for those. Those are scorpion fish, and they are venomous. Related to the stonefish, these scorpion fish have venomous spines on the dorsal and pectoral fins. And if you accidentally brush into them, they can give you a really nasty sting. I know all too well just how it feels because I once took a sting from the scorpion fish
And I've tested
myself.
the sting of a man-o-war. Ah, man, that one nailed me.
What is that? That's a bobbit worm. Oh my gosh. We gotta get in for a closer look. Those mandibles, look at those jaws, they are huge. If that's not a sci-fi monster, I don't know what is. And look at its skin. It's iridescent. It almost has a rainbow shimmer to it. And you could see its serrated jaws open and ready to clasp onto any would-be victim that crosses its path. And do you see those little antennae right by the jaws? Those are sensory organs, sensing the chemicals and vibrations in the water so it can detect prey and launch out for an attack. And with a body length of up to 10 feet, there's a lot more to this worm than meets the eye. And using all that friction that it has from that long burrow, it possesses incredible strength and can take down large fish as prey in a split second. Let's see if we can get the bobbit worm to snap its jaws for the cameras. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Wow. Now not only are those jaws serrated, but the bristles along its body are actually venomous. And the bobbit worm uses them as a defense mechanism. So it's not just the jaws you have to worry about. Oh no! The little porcupine fish followed us over. It must be attracted to the dive lights. That porcupine fish is very lucky to have escaped the bobbit worm. But that was pretty interesting to see it use its defense mechanism to puff up like that and to be successful with it. Whew, that got my heart racing. Let's wait here for a second to see if this bobbit worm can find any other prey. Look who showed up. The scorpion fish is coming to take a look. I wonder if the scorpion fish thinks this bobbit worm could be food. It certainly is creeping in really slow. Let's hang here for a second to see what happens. I cannot believe what we just saw. I think we're going to need to see that one more time, but this time we're going to slow it down. you can really see how the Bobbit worm inspired the movies Dune and Tremors. Look at the sand bubbling. I can only imagine what's happening down there below the surface. That might be the most disturbing thing I have ever seen on any dive I've ever been on. Wow. Scientists are still uncovering the mysteries of this notorious creature, not only seeking to understand its behavior, but also its role in the environment.
A bite from this bug can kill you, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the assassin bug. Ah, yeah, it's getting me. Oh, yeah! All right, guys, right now, I am in the jungles of Borneo on the hunt for an assassin. This is a super creepy, crawly insect that both flies and bites. And if I'm able to catch one today, I'm going to take a bite for myself to put it on the bite sting index. But there's a little catch. In addition to the pain I will experience from this bite, there's something a lot more dangerous than meets the eye. And as I'm going through it, I'm going to describe to you why you never want to be bitten by an assassin bug. We're gonna start flipping logs. We're gonna be looking on the leaves, looking on the ground, looking everywhere throughout this really dense jungle environment. There's all kinds of creepy crawlies in this rainforest. Let's search this whole area, guys. This looks really good. The assassin bug we're looking for is either gonna be orange, yellow, or red, any of which are gonna be pretty easy to pick out of this environment because we have a lot of greens and a lot of browns. The colorful pop of these bugs is not something that blends in very well out here in Borneo, but there's a reason why these bugs don't care. We'll talk about that once we find one. This is a cloud forest, and the air is thin. It makes hiking a little more challenging than we're used to. Nothing. Got one. Right here. Right here. Get the stick. Now it could fly. Guys, if it flies, I'm gonna spring into action, but I wanna see if you can get a shot of it. You see it on that stick? There it is. We got a red one. Red assassin bug. Andrew, can you hand me a jar?
Sure.
Thank you. See if I can scoop it up before it flies away. All right, I'm gonna put this down. You guys ready?
We're ready, Mom.
Got it. Got an assassin bug. A bright red one too. All right, it's game on. Oh man, I can see its dagger-like mouth already. Let's go set up the bite table. It's go time. Oh buddy, we got a big one today. I'm ready. At least as ready as I'm gonna be. Okay, the bite that I'm about to endure from this assassin bug, this fire red insect, is not only gonna be something that really hurts, but is also a bite that's definitely going to send me to the hospital. You heard me right. After the shoot, I'm gonna have to seek medical attention for what I'm about to do. Before I tell you why, let's take a closer look at what I'm up against. Okay, here we go. Perhaps the first thing that we notice looking at this assassin bug is its coloration. Bright red, speckled with a black polka dot pattern, and then of course that easily identifiable elongated head with the proboscis sticking out of the face. And that appendage, it's what's going to inflict the pain in today's bite test. Before I tell you about why this insect is so dangerous, let's get a closer look at it so we can appreciate just how unusual this assassin bug is. Now it can fly, so we gotta keep an eye on it. And hopefully it just sits right there. This has gotta be one of the most aposematic looking insects. Ooh, almost flew away there. This has gotta be one of the most aposematic looking insects you could ever see. Oh. I got it, I got it.
Right there on that.
That was close. Almost got away. That was very close to ending this bite test way too soon. Woo! Got my heart racing from that sprint, guys. Okay, well, let's, I'm gonna hold it in the forceps for the rest of the presentation. How about that?
That works, Mark.
The assassin bugs here in Borneo can fly, and most assassin bugs can fly. And they range in sizes from very small insects that are called kissing bugs to very large. The largest assassin bug is called a wheel bug, and we have those in the United States. But they are not anywhere near as colorful as this one. There it is in a defensive position. Attack mode, ready for battle. Let's talk about why the bite from an assassin bug hurts so bad and why they bite in the first place. It's an assassin, it's a predator. It is out there actively hunting other insects and invertebrates to eat. And the way that it incapacitates and kills its prey is by injecting with that long proboscis a digestive saliva. You can actually see a bead of it at the end of that proboscis right now. That is a digestive enzyme that when enters the body of a victim will dissolve it, and then it will use the proboscis like a straw to slurp up its insides. Oh, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about why this is such a dangerous bite for me to be taking. Some assassin bugs can spread a deadly disease called chagas. Chagas is a condition caused by parasites mainly found in the Americas, but has recently spread to both Asia and Australia. The reason chagas is so deadly is because once infected, it typically goes unnoticed for many years until it silently leads to major health problems, including heart failure. The main reason I have not yet ranked assassin bug bites is because of the risk of this silent killer. But out here in Asia, it's safe enough to test this dreadful bite because the chances of me misidentifying the kissing bugs that spread it are almost zero because they do not live here. All that said, I could still get other nasty parasites from this bite, so I will be taking a full parasite blood test when I return to the United States, just to make sure I didn't catch a killer bug by accident. And on top of all of that, I have heard and read that the bite from these Bornean assassin bugs is extremely painful. So handling this insect can not only land you in a world of pain, it can land you in the hospital getting a blood test to make sure you don't get an incurable disease. And with that, I think it's time to rate the bite of the Bornean assassin bug. You guys ready?
We are, Mark. Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Not really, not really. But enough people have been wanting to know about assassin bugs in the comments. I am willing to take a bite from this one to describe the pain and to officially rate it on our BSI. I'm gonna rank this bite, like always, on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. All right, guys. I think I'm as ready as I'm ever gonna be. It's time to go flesh to proboscis with the Bornean assassin bug. Got cameras ready?
We're ready, Mark.
I'm gonna do it right here on 3. Oh, this is like stabbing yourself with a bug. I don't know why, but it's a lot easier mentally to get stung by a wasp or a bee. They kind of do the work for you. This is like I'm looking at that dagger-like mouth part and I'm literally having to pop it into my own skin. I really don't like needles. Man. All right, ready? I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the assassin bug. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah! Dang it! Wow. I don't know if I got a good bite though. I gotta go again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's biting me. Yep, it's biting me.
Ah, it's in. Oh, yeah. Ah, yeah, it's getting me. Oh, yeah. Ah. Oh. Woo. Oh, yeah, that got me. Okay. Yeah, that hurts. Oh, wow. Wow, that is instant fire. Yeah. That is like a hot poker going into your skin. Yeah. Okay. Wow. And yeah, it just keeps burning. I can feel it. I can feel venom. I can feel the venom doing damage under my skin. It feels so weird. It's just like simmering under the skin. It almost feels like the blood is boiling around the bite. That was so weird. I've never had a more instant pain from what looked to be a gentle touch. Did you guys see the proboscis? It just kind of like went out like an elephant's trunk. It went like whoop, and then touched my skin almost like a feather. It didn't like spear down like I expected. It touched the skin with the softest landing. I didn't think it was even gonna bite at first, and then I felt something from its mouth go under the skin. I don't know if you saw it. When I was pulling it out, you could see its tongue. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. It got me. And it doesn't look like much, but it sure hurts. Holy smokes. Okay, guys, well, let's roll the rating on the Bornean assassin bug. Oh. On intimidation, this assassin bug is a standout. With its bright red colors and size, it scores much higher than other assassins you will find. On top of that, they do fly and bite without warning, making them a bug of most concern that you want to avoid at all costs. For that, it's a 7.8 out of 10. On pain, the pop of searing sting was quickly followed by intense burning and welts. It was very much like a hot poker that went in without warning, a sensation that I will never forget and really ranks it up the ladder. So for that, I give it an 8.1 out of 10. For aftermath, the swelling did flare up a lot after the bite, but in the days to follow, it turned into a more typical looking mosquito bite welt. However, this bite, of course, came with the big risk of parasites, and the anxiety of that alone bumps the score up significantly. And then there's the blood test results, which I was very nervous to get, but once I had them, they luckily came back completely negative. So while a positive test would have easily made the aftermath a 10, this time I got away with a 7.3, giving this bright red assassin bug a total BSI score of a 7.7. All right, guys, in this video, I am going to take on the sting of the fireworm so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Now, the sting from this venomous worm is horrible. We're talking searing pain, massive swelling, and even long-term skin damage. So for me, this is gonna be a really bad day. But before I can go through this test, I first have to catch one. And the only way to do that is to get out in the water. We're diving today just off a public beach near Miami, Florida. And if you can believe it, the waters just off these beaches are swarming with fireworms. Fireworms can grow up to a foot in length and are covered in thousands of venom-laced bristles, which has earned them the reputation of being one of the worst stings in the entire ocean. And unfortunately for me, I'm going to experience this firsthand. That is, if I'm able to find one. I'm seeing something in the rocks just ahead. Oh, check that out. Our first spot of the day. That is a moray eel. Moray eels are incredibly territorial and can be aggressive toward divers. So if I want to keep all my fingers, I better also keep my distance. Now these reefs are a promising environment, but still no fireworm. There is a ton of life down here, however, so I have a feeling it's just a matter of time.
I think we need to dive deeper. All right, yes, this is looking perfect. What we're looking at here in front of us is a muck bottom environment, which the fireworms love. And you see that orange sponge? That's a fantastic sign. I've seen fireworms covering these sponges many dives before. Okay, I'm seeing something wormy just up ahead. Oh yeah, there it is. The first fireworm of the day, and a decent sized one too. Whoa, did you see that? The fireworm is flaring out its spines in self-defense, which is gonna make them even more tricky to catch. Even with these gloves on, this is a very dangerous operation that should never be attempted. Please never do this. Taking a sting from a fireworm underwater could easily put you in a life-threatening situation. We have a bit more time left in our tank. Let's see if we can find a few more. Wow, almost immediately we've got another one. Once you find the fireworms, they are nearly everywhere you look. Let's see just how many we can get. Now, for anyone wondering, rest assured, we will be returning all of these fireworms right back where I found them at the end of this video. Wow, that one is an absolute monster. I'm not even sure it's going to fit in this container. Let's try. All right, well, I think we found today's co-star. It's time to take our worms to the surface and for me to face the flame of the fireworm. Since it's important that I return the worms back to the water as quickly as possible, there was no time to waste. So I ditched my scuba gear and got right to setting up for the sting test. The sting table is set. I'm gonna get out a few things that we're gonna be using for today's experiment with the fireworm. I've got a petri dish, we're gonna place them in, some clear Gorilla Tape. You might be asking, Mark, what are you gonna do with that? You'll see in just a few minutes. I've got some white vinegar. Gonna need that for the afterburn. And then of course, this is for me. Just a little hydration out here on the beach. I never leave home without my Summit Adventure Fuel. Now I'm gonna keep the rest of the worms covered. We don't need all the worms we found. Of course, we found a lot of worms. There were hundreds of fireworms at this site. The last one that we found, I even had a hard time fitting it inside the jar that I took with me. So I think that's the one we're gonna use for the experiment because I am curious, does size matter when it comes to the sting of a fireworm? I think today we'll find out. Let's get some seawater in our petri dish. Nice, clean, and cold. Now time to get out the fireworm. Whoa. Oh yeah. All right, here's second worm going in. Get some of these spines out of there. Check that out. So as you can see, these worms are absolutely covered in thousands of these very small but very sharp venomous spines. Now these spines are constantly growing. So you'll see there's some of them floating around and it really does look like fiberglass. When you look at it under a microscope, you could see just how sharp the points of the spines really are. So really just even a subtle brush into one of these creatures is gonna land you in a world of pain, right where I'm about to be here in just a few more minutes. But you can also see that red coloration is where they get their name, the fireworm, because they look like they're on fire and they certainly feel like it when they touch your skin. Now, a lot of people do come into contact with these worms, namely scuba divers and snorkelers, but you do need to be careful if you're out here swimming. If you're walking along and you feel rocks below your feet, there's a good chance that could be the home of a fireworm. If you step on one of these, it's gonna light you up. Wow, and there we go. Come in tight, let's see that right there. That, to me, is the most impressive thing about the fireworm, besides what the venom can do, is this amazing flaring defense. They can just splay and spread out all of those spines so they can encase their entire body. All of that middle bit there, it's no different than your average worm. In fact, when I squeeze it with these tweezers, they're super soft, they're squishy. And if they weren't covered in these amazingly painful spikes, they would be easy pickings for anything that lives out there in the ocean. So now you've heard me mention more than a few times that these worms are venomous. So while yes, those spines will jam into your flesh like a cactus, they release a toxin,
There's a mucus that these worms are coating those spines in, much like a lionfish or a stonefish. And when that toxin gets into the skin, it's gonna cause instant searing pain. And that pain will continue to cycle through as long as those spines are lodged in my skin. And then after that, I'm gonna inevitably deal with tremendous swelling and probably some scarring. This is one of the stings that it's gonna leave lasting damage. Luckily for me, I get stung a lot in this area for the bite sting index, so it's just gonna be one of many scars. It's time to take a sting from this very bizarre marine creature so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. And this is one of the animals that I have been really curious to rate since we invented the Bite Sting Index for Brave Wilderness, where we rate the sting or bite of an animal in 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And for this worm, the aftermath is what you're definitely going to want to stick around for, because not only will you see just how bad the burn from a fireworm can be, but I'm gonna show you what to do if you are ever stung by one of these venomous creatures. I know how bad this is gonna be. Time to find out. What does the burn of the fireworm do to human flesh? On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, I didn't give me good enough. Maybe one more time. Here we go. Puff up, puff up. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, that burns. Ah! No! Oh, it's so. Ah! Woo! Oh, do you see all those spines? Oh my gosh! Ah! Ah! Oh, you can already see it's turning red. Oh, I got stung really bad. That's so many spines. Hundreds. I got stung by hundreds. Ah! Oh, it's so bad. Ah! Ah! Okay. Ah! Ah! Oh gosh.
Mark, you okay?
Oh, it's bad, dude. It's really bad. On. Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh my gosh, it's so much worse than the first time. I've been stung by these before, but never one that big. I have so many spines in my arm right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be my worst sting ever. This is gonna be my worst sting. Ah! Ah! I gotta let it dry. Because once it dries, I can use this tape to remove the spines. Anything that's like super adhesive. If you don't have duct tape, find something sticky. Just like get that stuff out of there. You need to get those spines out of your skin, because right now I can just feel the venom just like lava flowing over top of itself. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It could be worse. Don't blow on it. Makes it worse. Oh, come on. Dry. All right, I'm gonna walk it off. Hang on, guys. I'm just gonna walk around for a second. Okay, it's dry. All right, I'm taking all I can take. I gotta get these out. All right, piece of tape like that. Any tape will do, but I got this so you can see just how many spines I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna try to do this in one swoop. Here we go. You wanna cover the entire area. Oh, wow. I didn't get them all. Let's go again, but look at that. Look at how many spines are in there. Come on. Ow! Ah, Okay, holy mackerel. Look at those welts coming in. You see that? Oh my gosh, and they don't even look that bad compared to how it feels. Instantly better as soon as you remove the spines. It really makes a big difference. The next thing you want to do, white vinegar. It's gonna help neutralize the burns. Oh yeah. Whatever toxin is left on top of my skin, this vinegar is going to neutralize it. Heavy duty tape, white vinegar. If you don't have it with you, get it as fast as you can, because the faster you can get those spines out of your skin, the sooner you're gonna be on the road to recovery. But I can tell you the road to recovery for this sting is long. And you can see how much the welts are rising. Tomorrow, this is gonna be nasty. Now comes the hard part, the healing process, the aftermath. And the pain score, gonna be high. Intimidation, I'm gonna have to think about that. Aftermath, I'm gonna have a long time to think about that, because the aftermath of this worm is gonna last for weeks. But you don't have to wait weeks. Let's get into it right now and officially rate the Fireworm on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. On intimidation, the Fireworm looks intense. The bright red skin combined with thousands of spines remind me of a venomous snake. Plus, having taken a sting before, I know just how easily those spines can get stuck in your skin. And when you see a big one underwater, they are majorly intimidating. So for that, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. For pain, once those spines dug in and started to dose me with venom, the burn was intense. The feeling was similar to being burned and electrocuted over and over again. And unlike my first sting, I got completely nailed this time with at least 5 times the amount of bristles. Needless to say, it hurt badly, and for that, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The aftermath of the Fireworm is where it scores some serious points. Its burn just kept going and going, day after day and week after week, and the rash would come back with a vengeance, leaving behind these intense itching, pustules, and swelling. Anytime I would get active or start to sweat, the pain would come rushing back, and to this day, there is still some scarring left behind from the burn of this Fireworm. So for this, I give the aftermath score a whopping 9.6 out of 10. All combined, the Fireworm ranks at a 9 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, which is a major score for a majorly painful creature. It's got me. Let me show you guys this real quick. The soldier leafcutter ant, and they can bite really hard. I didn't think it was gonna get me that fast. Get off, buddy, get off. They will not let go. Let go, let go, let go, come on, come on, come on. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, wow, that hurts. Oh, get off me, get off me, get off me. Oh, God, I can't get it off. I can't get it off. He's stuck. He's like a bear trap. Look at that. There's only one soldier out today. I thought maybe he was lost or sleepy, but he is wide awake. Wow. Oh! I just keep twisting the knife. Oh, give me a stick. Give me a stick. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Good morning to you too, but I've already ranked those. Yeah. Oh, what was that? See, he's gonna. I saw something out of the corner of my eye. No, nothing. All right, keep moving. Let's go. This is really putting my skills to the test. I almost never go out anymore without a specific target in mind, but I just know this rainforest, we've got to find something. What's this ant? What's that? I've never seen an ant like that.
Oh, he's got jaws.
Whoa, sure does. Okay, we got to get a closer look at this. Okay, I don't need the net. Look at that. He's got like, it's like a hammerhead ant. You guys see that? Let me see if I can get it. That is, I mean, it looks like it bites, but I wonder if it stings. I've never seen an ant like this. Okay, see if we'll just crawl up. This is a good. Got him.
Whoa.
Whoa, what is this? Whoa. Guys, get in here tighter with the camera. Can you get a shot of those mandibles?
Yeah, those are huge.
Whoa. It looks a lot like a bulldog ant, a little bit smaller, but like same body shape. I wonder if it stings. All right, let me try something real quick. I had a feeling I might need these. Let's see if we can spot a stinger. If we spot a stinger, this might be our creature for this video. Whoa, look at that. Oh yeah, I see a stinger flying. Oh yeah, definitely stinging away. Like its mandibles go all the way out 90 degrees. Looks like it's like a hammerhead ant. That is crazy. Man, I think we might have hit the jackpot with this, guys. You hear that? That thing just snapped. Let's see if we can get cell signal. I want to find out what this is. Guys, I don't have service. We're gonna take this ant with us, mark this location. We're gonna head back up with I'm calling it the hammerhead ant for now, to see exactly what it is that we just discovered. Let's go. There we go. Woo! All right, finally got some service. Let's see what we got. Guys.
What is it, Mark?
I think we got a good one. You guys will take a guess at what this ant is named? It's not a hammerhead ant, just to give you a hint. What do you think?
The vice grip ant.
That's pretty close, actually. What do you think, Asa? Anything?
The jaw cutter?
Jaw cutter, no. I like that name though. It could easily have been that. However, is this the ant? That's the ant, right? Right there?
That looks just like it.
Okay, you guys are gonna love this name. Drum roll, please. What we have found this morning is the trap jaw ant. And get this, it has the fastest bite of any animal on the planet. That's what we were hearing this morning. That clicking sound is because they are able to shut their jaws at such velocity that it makes an audible clicking noise. I cannot believe I've never heard of this species before. And I'm reading here that it has the fastest appendage of any animal, let alone the jaws, the fastest appendage of any animal, snapping its jaws shut at 145 miles an hour. Everything's talking about the bite though. Let me make sure it can sting. Oh, here we go. Yes, we were right. We were seeing a stinger. It can absolutely sting. In fact, here's a quick article. It says top 25 most painful stings in the world, right there, trap jaw ant. This is a perfect candidate for today's mystery creature for the bite sting index. Let's go set up our table and get into it. All right, got our table. Got a few things in my pack that I need to get out. Okay, don't need that. Do need a couple of things though. First things first, it's a nice little, it's probably a better capsule for that ant. Got some forceps. And the most important thing, first aid. Oh, can't forget the adventure fuel. Get a little drink. Oh yeah, man. Stuff really helps so much after hiking all day. All right, I need to get all important. Got the EpiPen. This is just in case we have any kind of allergic reaction. Every venom's different. Everybody reacts differently to venom, so I want that on standby. Now I want to transfer this trap jaw ant into a little bit better container so we can get really good footage of it. Okay. Come here. Oh man, they're fast when they want to be. Hear that click? Oh man. Now we can see you. You know, it's not the biggest ant ever. I mean, it's certainly not a bullet ant, but the fact that it's rated one of the top 25 stings in the world, it must have pretty potent venom. Now that I'm able to get a closer look at this ant, I can really appreciate how truly bizarre it is. What an unusual creature. It has a super flattened head, almost like a football shape, very alien looking. Its head is so strange. Oh, and it's got like this spiked mouth part that it's sticking out, like a proboscis. I wonder if that's gonna be able to make the pain of the bite worse. Whoa, super unusual. And then it has these really long antennae, almost making it look like it has an extra set of legs. You can easily see how this animal could be mistaken for a spider if you didn't know what you were looking at. But I'm ready to get it out of the container and get a closer look at those jaws. I mean, the fastest appendages in the world. Here we go. This is actually gonna be really hard to get a good grip on this ant. As soon as I get the forceps close, they get really flighty. Let's see if I can put it on the table, stay up. Just don't want to go through the crack. See how fast it is? Gosh, it's so fast. Oh gosh. No, no, no. Oh, geez. Its jaw snapped so fast it popped it back. Oh no, we lost it. We lost it. Hang on. Okay, let's see if I can. Look at that. Here, get a shot of that. Look at that. Okay, got it. I don't know for how long. This is very challenging to hold. This ant's exoskeleton is super tough and very slick. These forceps do not want to hold it, but look at that. You can definitely see that stinger going. Look at it fishing around. Let's talk about how we're going to rank the trapjaw ant on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. It's going to be ranked on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. So at the end of this video, we will combine all 3 of those factors rated from 1 to 10 into a final Brave Wilderness BSI, a Bite Sting Index for the trapjaw ant. In terms of intimidation, ants, you know, they're small, right? But they're also mighty. And for an ant with the fastest jaws, the fastest bite in the world, I am super intimidated right now. And I also know this is one of the top 25 stings in the world. Just that knowledge alone and seeing how fast those jaws can snap, where I can hear them like a pop, we're gonna get a good score right off the bat. The pain, we're gonna figure out just here in a second. As far as the aftermath goes, we're gonna monitor the bite and the sting for the next 2 days to see how bad the swelling, the itching, and all those damage effects are. Starting to get a little sweaty, the nerves are hitting. It's time to officially enter the bite and sting zone with the trapjaw ant. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, the stinger's in. You see that sting? Ah, oh yeah, that burns. Yeah, that stinger's stuck in there. Oh yeah, okay, okay. I didn't take a good bite. I didn't take a good bite yet. Hang on, let's just give him. Okay, yeah, yeah, that, okay, yeah, okay, got a bite. All right, I know what it feels like now. Okay, hang on. Hang on. You okay, Mark? It's building. That burns really bad. So these stings have 3 distinct phases. 1, when you first get hit, there's like an instant searing. Definitely feel the stinger go in and the immediate burn. But then the burning starts to build. That's really phase 2. And that's when it gets a little scary, because you don't know how high that flame is gonna rise. And then you see the redness and the swelling. You can even see the swelling that's starting to happen here in my wrist, and definitely the swelling around the sting. It looks like I got hit a couple of small stings. It was tucked up underneath. It hit me once up here, maybe once right there, but you can see where it did the most damage, right in the center of that sting. You can see there's a little bit of blood coming to the surface. I definitely took a good pop from the stinger. I intentionally took another bite at the end so I could test the bite, and I think we're ready. It's time to put the trapjaw ant on the Bite Sting Index. Here we go. On intimidation, the trapjaw ant is super bizarre, but is quite small. That said, those snapping jaws do look capable of slicing through skin, and the popping sound it can make is very alarming. Also, I know firsthand just how bad an ant bite can be. It's also worth mentioning that helping its score is knowing that this is ranked as a top 25 sting in the world, which definitely put me on edge. All things considered, I give it a 5 out of 10 on intimidation. For pain, the sting proved to be worse than the bite. This ant's sting burned immediately, injecting my forearm with searing heat. At first, it was a similar feeling to the bullet ant, but not nearly as painful. As for the bite, it was just a very sharp pinch. In total, for pain, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. The aftermath of the trapjaw ant was painful, but manageable, leaving behind only mild swelling and redness 2 days later, and falling far short of the bone-crushing pain of the bullet ant. So for that, I only give it a 4.5 out of 10. All things combined, this ant ranks at a 5.3 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, because its snap turns out to be much louder than its bite.
And all the way out to the islands of the Galapagos, This country stands as a pillar of hope for the entire natural world. And as part of the Non-Fungible Planet campaign to celebrate Earth Day, YouTube is sponsoring this video for an expedition into this pristine environment where we will get up close with some of its most magnificent and unusual wildlife. Joining us on this adventure will be Dr. Lena Valencia, a renowned conservation scientist and wildlife expert. Lena has spent years conducting field research throughout Latin America on many animal species, ranging from primates all the way down to amphibians. Lena knows this environment well, and with any luck, together, we will uncover brand new species never before seen on video. After crossing the ridges of the Andes and navigating down the slopes of the Amazon, we set out on foot to venture deep into the heart of the rainforest. Right away, I was struck by the immense beauty and diversity of this place. But right about the same time, we were also struck with the challenges in front of us. We trekked miles through the jungle, crossing rivers and braving rainstorms and mud to get to the edge of the primary forest. Here we waited for darkness, because while some creatures do make themselves present by day, the best and most interesting only roam under the cover of night.
During the day, there are diurnal animals. That means daytime wildlife, but the best time to find all the cool creatures that call this rainforest home is at night.
Well, you cannot come to the Amazon and not go night herping.
Night herping, what is night herping?
So we're gonna turn our headlamps on and then we're gonna start walking through the forest to discover all the cool creatures that we're gonna see tonight. Frogs, snakes, really cool insects.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm excited. This is our first trip to Ecuador for Brave Wilderness. You've been here a few times, so
yeah.
I'm gonna let you lead the way. Let's turn our flashlights on and head off into the rainforest. What the? Guys! Holy cow! Look at the size of that katydid. That's the biggest one I have ever seen, Lena. It is strong. It is like taking all my finger strength just to hold on to it. Look at those legs kick away. Now, I would attempt to let it rest on my hand if it weren't for those massive mandibles in the front. It will absolutely slice your skin open like a razor sharp knife. Make no mistake about it, these katydids are fierce. And if you've seen all the leaves around here that have holes in them, see all these holes? That's due to these creatures just munching away, eating the plant leaves, hole by hole, leaf by leaf. Wow.
With over 6,400 species, katydid come in a variety of shapes and sizes. And while they are called the longhorn grasshopper, they are actually more closely related to crickets, including this giant leaf katydid.
And you can see the camouflage. Here, let's hold it up to a leaf right here. Look at how well it blends in with the leaves here. Absolutely superior camouflage. I mean, Lena, that's a leaf.
It's like it has even the veins that a leaf would normally have.
Yeah. Oh, so it is so incredibly strong for an insect. Look at it, it's just ripping holes in the leaf as we're trying to take it off. Look at the abdomen pulsate underneath there. And this can fly. You want to hold it, Lena?
No, that's fine.
Okay, well, let's get a couple more shots and then we're gonna put this monstrous katydid right back on the leaf which I found it. Wow.
As exciting as it is to explore these environments, there are many potential hazards, like venomous snakes lurking on the ground and spiny plants all the way up to the canopy. So proceeding with extreme caution is a must.
All right, let's get the cameras in close. You see this? Lena just spotted this stick insect and it is super spiky. Here you go, Lena. Oh man, that is so cool.
Can you see all the spikes?
Oh yeah. It's almost like a stick insect version of the thorny devil that we saw in Australia. Besides its incredible appearance, I'm already amazed
by its 3 unique defense mechanisms. The first one's pretty obvious, stick insect, master of camouflage. Defense mechanism number 2. Lena, why don't you tell us how spiky this stick insect is?
Pretty spiky over here.
That's right. Try it. Ah! Yeah. If you were to try to forcefully grab it, you would get a handful of spines and it would not feel good. Let's move on to the 3rd defense mechanism. Look at how much that rear abdomen looks like the head of a snake, almost like a dragon.
Look how it curls.
Almost like a scorpion. That is a false head and is another defense mechanism, so a would-be predator would actually go after the wrong side of the insect, giving it one last chance of escape.
More than 3,000 species of stick insect inhabit our planet, and to add a 4th defense to its arsenal, this spiny stick insect actually has the ability to produce a noxious odor that is impossible to ignore.
You guys can't smell it, but
Yeah.
there's a very strong smell.
Yeah, it smells almost like bug spray. I think that's the best way I could describe it. A very unique smell, not a smell I've ever encountered before. Wow, you never know what you're gonna see when you come out night herping in Ecuador, but I certainly never in my wildest dreams expected a creature like this. All right, Lena, great spot. Why don't you do the honors and put this one back on its leaf? Oh man, that's so cool.
Put it back. Oh, look, there's a monkey tree frog here.
Oh yeah.
Can you
Wow.
see it? It blends so well with the leaf. Yeah, they're called monkey tree frog because right now they're not moving, but when they move, they look like a monkey moving
Okay.
through the forest.
Are they nocturnal?
Yeah, they're nocturnal, and right now you think it's sleeping, but it's not. It's actually because it senses our presence, so they get still, and they're like that defensive mechanism. And if I was to grab it, like they would like curl into and play dead, and that's how they defend from predators.
Wow. Yeah, you can actually see, even since we walked up here, it's gotten a lot darker.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any way to show everyone what this defense
Yeah.
mechanism? Yeah, because I've heard about, I've actually never seen one of these.
So can you see how it's crawling? That's like a defense mechanism when it's disturbed.
Wow.
Do you see? When it was in the tree, it was like not as cold as it is right now.
So it's playing possum.
It's playing dead.
Yeah.
And actually, some of these frogs, when you touch them, they change color and release some toxins
Oh, really?
as well. That if they're like, they won't be poisonous in my hand, but if like I put it on my eye, I will be struggling.
After we placed the frog back on its leaf, we spotted another one on a nearby branch. So here's a much livelier perspective.
Nice little leaf frog. Nice job, Lena. Good spot. All right, let's keep moving.
Among the maze of vines and other vegetation, we search slowly and carefully because many things in this jungle are not as obvious as they might appear.
Whoa, what is this? Is that a toad?
Yeah, that's actually a leaf toad. Can you tell why?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. See if I can pick it up right on its leaf.
Look how it camouflages so well with the leaf.
Yeah, you can definitely make out the parotoid glands and see the bumps all over the surface of the skin. Definitely a toad. I'm speechless. This is an unbelievable find. Have you seen one of these before, Lena?
I've seen leaf toads before, but not particularly this one.
I'm in awe.
Look at how beautiful the eye is.
While many species of amphibians utilize superior camouflage here in Ecuador, some of them are actually very toxic and display brilliant colorations, as is seen in poison dart frogs and the world's rarest and most colorful jewel of the rainforest, the harlequin toad.
Hi. Thanks for hanging out with us. And, you know, I noticed that a lot of species out here in Latin America, they're not really flighty. They do rely on their defense mechanisms. For better or for worse, that's what they're going with.
Yep. Not afraid of you because he will attack.
So there you have it. That is one super camouflaged but cool amphibian. And Lena, I think this is a great way to call it a wrap here of our exploration of Ecuador. Thank you so much for having
You're
us.
most welcome.
You've shown us so many cool animals. I hope everybody at home has appreciated this look into this beautiful ecosystem. I'm Mark Vins.
I'm Lina Valencia.
Be brave.
Be wild.
We'll see ya on the next adventure. All right, ready to go back out? See you later.
Lizard, right here. You guys rolling? Whoa, check that out.
Look at that. This is a shingleback. Wow, what an amazingly cool lizard this is. Let me see if I can pick it up carefully. Oh, don't want to get bit. Don't want to get bit by this guy. Hang on. Look at that defensive display.
Whoa, got a lunge. Oh,
He is a feisty one. Oh, do you hear that? Hear that hiss? Got him. All right. Here, let's come on in close, guys. That is a really good look at their defensive display. I was hoping we would come across one of these lizards here in Western Australia, and there it is, our first reptile of the trip, the shingleback. The first thing you notice about this animal is that tongue sticking out, flaring its tongue out, saying, hey, I'm feisty and I will give you a tremendous bite if you get any closer. You can see the size of those mandibles, and it does have razor sharp teeth. Let's talk about its name. The shingleback gets its name because of its armored plating. Look at those scales. They are raised up and very thick, like an armored little tank. Here, Andrew, feel the back of that.
Whoa, he's super tough.
He's super tough. An extra tough lizard that utilizes its scales to ward off predators. Those armored scales would act like a plate, a barrier, to hopefully protect it long enough to scurry away. Now, some people would call this a shingleback, others would know it as a bobtail. It gets the name bobtail because of this little nubby tail on the back, which has a couple of purposes. The first purpose is it's a defense mechanism because it's a false head. So if there's a predator like a hawk or a snake that comes in and tries to eat this lizard, it might accidentally go for the wrong side because it looks a lot like its head. And that would be good for this lizard because it would give it a chance to get away. Now, another purpose for that bobtail is it's a fat store. Being out here in the desert, water is scarce and energy can be scarce. So certain times of the season, while this lizard can be hibernating, it relies on the fat stores in its tail to survive. Now, these lizards are a species of blue-tongued skink, and while their tongue isn't as bright as their cousin, the eastern blue tongue, I think their armored appearance makes them the coolest of these spunky Australian lizards. I want to be very clear, I do not want to take a bite from this lizard. It has very strong jaws because it is an omnivore. It feasts on a diet of snails and beetles, so it requires strong mandibles to crush those shells up. And I don't want you to crush my finger, right? Because we're gonna be friends, because I'm gonna help you out too before the end of this video. These lizards can be found while road cruising out here in the outback. They are often victims of car strikes because they like to stay on the road to get warmth. They are ectothermic, so we're gonna help you cross the road, buddy, don't worry. But we're also gonna help you out with something else. Now, one of the things that we can do is to remove some of its parasites. You see that right there? Let's get a tight shot. These reptiles are known to be covered in ticks. So anytime we encounter an animal with visible parasites like leeches, barnacles, or ticks, we always do our best to try to remove them if possible. In this case, removing these pesky bloodsuckers will cause no pain to the lizard and will certainly help its chances for survival in this harsh desert environment. This is a little bit risky right here. Getting my fingers super close to those jaws. Got him. Oh no. There's more. Ugh. Hang on, buddy. We'll help you out here. Guys, there are so many ticks on this lizard. That one was in its left ear, and the ticks do like to go for the softer part, so ears and in between the scales. I'm gonna try this one out. Here we go. Yeah. Gotcha. There we go. And there is another tick. See? That's what friends do. We remove ticks from each other's ears. You would do the same for me, wouldn't you? Now, this is not a tick that would burrow into a human, but they can actually get about 20 times this size by engorging themselves with the blood of these reptiles. I've actually found a tick on another shingleback before that was the size of a grape. Ugh, disgusting, right? Ugh, we don't want ticks. I think I got the main ticks off of you. Oh no, you got another one deep in your ear. Got him. Got him. They are all stuffed in his ear. How did you get so many ticks inside your ear? Oh gosh, guys. There are so many ticks in this lizard's ear. Guys, you're gonna wanna get a shot of this. It's gross. Ugh. Look at that. Dude, where have you been? All right, no more ticks. I think I got them all out of that ear. I'm sure that feels a lot better, huh, buddy? Now you can hear again. All right, the sun's coming back out. He's getting a little feisty. Let's see if we can get another look at that iconic defense display, that tongue splaying out to warn any predator off. All right, I'm gonna try to put him down carefully, not take a bite. Ready? You guys got your shot? 1, 2, 3. See that? See that defense display? Oh, he is fast. Yeah. Hey, we're still friends, don't worry. Oh.
Looks angry.
Oh man, they are feisty when they want to be. Oh, not messing around, are you, buddy?
Too close. Gosh, he bit down hard.
Oh, guys, look at that bite. We were trying to get the thumbnail, and I was using my hat to shade, and he's totally bit my hat. Oh my gosh, it is strong. I don't think it's gonna let go. You would not want to take a bite from this lizard. Holy smokes, it is just bulldog grip. Let's see if I can just put it down and it'll let go. Give me my hat. Who do you think you are, Jake Paul? Got my hat? Can I have my hat back, sir? Please? Are you kidding me? Thank you. Thank you for my hat back. Okay. Wow. You would not want to take a bite from this lizard. It is a bulldog. That is a bite that you would not soon forget. So cool. Out here in Western Australia and our first encounter with the shingleback. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, let's put this one across the road and continue on our way. See you later. The Thorny Devil is like a living sculpture, and some rumors say it is so sharp it can actually draw blood when you try to catch it. So if we're lucky enough, we're gonna put those rumors to the test. Let's get searching. They live exclusively on a diet of ants. Because of that need, if you find an ant mound or an ant line, there's a good chance there's a Thorny Devil somewhere in the vicinity, so we can then create a perimeter and start really scanning the area. These are masters of camouflage in this environment, so you really need to narrow it down to a sweet spot. So sharp. This is definitely Thorny Devil habitat. Everything out here is spiky. Especially this plant right here. This is like little razor blade leaves. Gonna keep an eye out for that one as we search for this creature. Here we go. This is a good indication. You see that line in the sand right there? That's an ant track. You can actually see a few tiny, tiny ants making their way back to their nest. But this is great, guys. We've got the sandy environment. We found the food. Now it's time to find the devil itself. What I'm looking for now are either foot tracks or the outline. It has a very distinct contrast with the rest of the environment, the outline of the tail and the horns on the front. And that's what I'm gonna be scanning for along the ridges and along the bush lines. Luckily, the Thorny Devil is not very fast. You can see why you have to be such a specialized animal to call this your home. Humans would not do very well living out here. Oh, I see one. Got one. We got a devil. Oh, yes, yes, we got one. Oh man, this is the coolest lizard on the planet, guys. Oh my gosh, I am so excited right now. I cannot believe we found a thorny devil. Look at how cool this little dragon is. This is one of the top targets out here. And unlike their cousins in America and Mexico, the horned lizards, these guys are actually super spiky. And you see it puffing up its body and pushing those spines out. That is one of its defense mechanisms. And I could tell you that if you were to grab onto this thorny devil without knowing that it was sharp, you would get a handful of spikes. Look at how cryptic the color patterning is. This animal is superior at camouflage in this environment, from the sand that's demonstrated in its arms to the foliage and the yellow leaf litter. This animal is perfectly designed for this habitat. And you can see that I'm not really doing much to keep the animal here with us. They're very docile and slow moving. In fact, they use their tail as a balance to step forward. They're almost like a chameleon, and they'll do very cautious steps. So look at that, just in a matter of minutes from presenting this animal, it's already changed its color to a much more vibrant yellow on the back. And that's probably because the sun is really starting to come out today. And like most lizards, it is ectothermic. The more heat it absorbs in its body, the more energy it's going to have. And it certainly has earned its name, the thorny devil. It is extraordinarily sharp and spiny. And it is covered from the tip of its tail all the way to its fingers and sharp spikes. Andrew, stick your finger out there. Tell me what that's like.
Wow, it's like prickers.
It's literally as sharp as the thorns on a rose. Just because it has these defense mechanisms doesn't mean that this lizard doesn't have any predators. There are animals out here that would make a meal out of a thorny devil, including species of hawks and, of course, the predatory goannas, the giant monitors that live in this country. So that's where this animal will rely on its superior camouflage to blend into its environment, to not give its location away. It also has another unique defense mechanism. You see those two horns right at the neck? That is a false head. And in a defense situation, the thorny devil will tuck in its head, offer up that false head to any would-be predator so it has a chance to escape if attacked. So let's see if we can actually get it to do that. Offering that false head up. That is a great display. All right, let's pick it back up. Gosh, those spikes are sharp. Ah, oh, do you see him right there try to horn me? Ah, okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I thought we had an agreement. We were gonna do this scene and I was gonna put you back, trying to show everybody how cool you are. There we go. If you ever wanna see one in person, you have to come here to one of its native ranges. Right now we are in Western Australia, but the range extends all the way to the center of the continent. But it lives in this specialized desert terrain, feeding on ants of a particular variety. Now, when I say feeding on ants, I should say feasting on ants. This little lizard has the ability to eat up to 3,000 ants a day. It will eat up to 1,000 ants in a single meal. And because of that, it actually is said that they are super intelligent. They have the ability to track through their environment to locate different colonies of ants, and they make sure that they don't overpredate any specific colony. They want to be able to come back to the food line to get another meal when they need it. These animals all have a very unique color pattern. You see underneath there? The patterning on the belly is like an individualized fingerprint for these lizards. So scientists will actually take photographs of the underside of a thorny devil so they can study the populations in any given area. And this one is super cool. It's very reticulated, almost like tiger stripes. Ah, so sharp. Ah, hang on. Ah, in addition to being super spiky, it has another very unique mechanism that is developed for life out here in the desert, and that's the ability to drink using its feet. Now, I've heard that if you actually pour water out and place a thorny devil in a small puddle, you can witness this happening. So we are going to try to demonstrate that for you right now. I've got a little water here. All right, let's see. Look at that. See all that moisture? Definitely have water coming up the back. I can see it on the neck. It's probably hydrating its eyes. And if we stay here long enough, it would actually be able to siphon some of that water into its mouth. But that is so cool. So those scales are adapted to be able to suck up moisture from the ground to keep this lizard hydrated. It's hard to believe, even holding it here in my hand, seeing it move, seeing it look at me, I'm almost in disbelief that this is even a real living thing. And for those of you who've been watching to see if the thorny devil is indeed sharp enough to draw blood, well, here you go. I mean, it is spiky. It's like holding the thorns of a rose. So I'm gonna do this delicately. Ready? Ah, you're spining me. It's wriggling around and it's so spiky, but I think the verdict is in. I do not think the thorny devil is sharp enough to draw blood, even though, he's spiky. Definitely does not feel good when it tenses up those spines. Ow! From its defense mechanisms and the spines and the false head to even the way that it drinks. How cool was it to come across the real dragon of the outback, the thorny devil? I'm Mark Benz. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, buddy, we're gonna put you back.
If you enjoyed that episode, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our upcoming adventures.